Hello everyone, welcome to the show. This is ages.75 and this is our host and speaker today, Deepa Bhatnagar. Today I will talk about the most critical issue of our recent times, global warming and about carbon credits. What is global warming? The increase in Earth's average land and ocean's temperatures together is known as global warming. Global surface temperature increased to about 0.7 degrees Celsius during the 100 years till 2005. The IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, has ascertained that most of these are likely due to the increase in the greenhouse gas concentrations, which brings about an increased greenhouse effect. The major greenhouse gases are water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane. The amount of future warming Earth will experience depends on how much of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases we emit in the coming decades. Today, our activities like burning fossil fuels and deforestation add about billions of tons of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere each year. The drastic effects this global warming has brought about on our planet are increase in air and water surface temperatures, increase in sea levels, acidification of oceans, increase in the intensity of extreme weather conditions like floods, droughts, and tropical cyclones, significant changes to the amount and pattern of rainfall as we are currently witnessing during our monsoon season here, loosening and melting of ice cappings at our polar regions, mass species extinctions, shrinking water resources, and increase in the ranges of disease vectors. The main causes which contribute to this change in climate conditions are due to rapid industrialization, population explosion, depletion of natural resources, and natural phenomena. Hence, agencies all over are working to abate these harsh weather conditions and have come up with very promising solutions like use of green energy, green hydrogen, use of renewable energy resources, and afforestation. Our Indian government is also in the process of launching a national carbon trading platform, which is estimated to help our country attain net zero carbon emissions by 2070. To establish and stabilize a carbon credit market is the first step our government is keen to take forward. Now, what is carbon credit and its offsetting? Carbon credit theory is simple. If one company can't stop emitting carbon dioxide, it can ask another to emit less, so that even as the first goes on producing carbon dioxide, the net amount of carbon in the atmosphere is reduced. By paying someone to either reduce their emissions or capture their carbon, companies can compensate for their carbon footprint. Offsetting is just the counterbalancing for the carbon released in the atmosphere. Companies can meet their climate target points by purchasing credits for their ongoing emissions. Our individual carbon footprint includes all emissions released by our day-to-day routine activities. Our direct emissions result from activities that involve actual burning of fossil fuels, such as gas consumed from driving our vehicles, while our indirect emissions result from activities that consume purchased energy, such as our home electricity and heating. We can make a significant impact if we try to reduce our carbon footprint in our day-to-day activities. A slight change can go a long way in helping to reduce our carbon footprints and thus add to a positive global impact. A colossal effort in this direction in the times to come can hopefully reverse the wrongdoing. Maybe someday in the future, our generations to come witness the heavenly pristine earth as it used to be. Some mindful lifestyle changes can help to reduce carbon emissions. We can eat low on food chain. This means eating mostly fruits, veggies, grains and beans. Livestock, meat and dairy is responsible for about 14% of man-made global greenhouse gas emissions, mainly from cattle feedstock production. We can choose organic and local foods that are in season. Transporting food from faraway places, whether by truck, railway, or plane, uses fossil fuels for fuel and also for cold storage to keep foods from spoiling. We can buy foodstuffs in bulk when possible using our own reusable containers. We can reduce our food waste by planning meals ahead of time, freezing the excess and then reusing the leftovers. We can compost our food waste if possible. Clothing. We can avoid buying fast fashion clothes. Trendy cheap items that go out of style very quickly get dumped in landfills, where they produce methane gas as they decompose. Domestically, India discards 1 million tons of clothes every year, as per data from Indian Textile Journal, considerable percentage of which lands into landfill, so producing more of methane. In addition, most fast fashion clothes come from China and Bangladesh, so shipping it requires the use of fossil fuels. Instead, we can buy quality clothing that will last longer. One option is to buy even better vintage or recycled clothing at consignment shops. We can wash our clothing in cold water. The enzymes in cold water detergent are designed to clean better in cold water. Doing 2 full loads of laundry weekly in cold water instead of hot or warm water can save up to 500 pounds of carbon dioxide each year. Shopping. We can use our own reusable bags when we shop and try avoiding items which have excess packaging. If we are in the market for a new computer, we can opt for a laptop instead of a desktop. Laptops require less energy to charge and operate as compared to desktops. If shopping for appliances, lighting, office equipment, or electronics, we can look for Energy Star products, which are certified to be more energy efficient. We can support and buy from companies that are environmentally responsible and sustainable. Home. We can get an energy audit for our home. This will show how much we use or waste energy and help identify ways to be more energy efficient. We can change our ordinary light bulbs, which waste around 90% of their energy as heat, to light emitting diodes, that is LEDs. Though LEDs cost more, they use a quarter of the energy and last up to 25 times longer. They are also preferable to CFL bulbs, which emit 80% of their energy as heat and contain mercury. Now, even the cold vapors of mercury are toxic to human beings. We can use less air conditioning in the summer. Instead, we can opt for fans which require less electricity and can check out some organic ways to beat the heat without using the air conditioning. Transportation. Our automobiles we use for our transportation require non-renewable energy resources like fossil fuels like petrol, diesel, CNG. Now, of course, in some countries they have built up cars which use green hydrogen gas as fuel. But again, that is debatable as to how much green it is actually is. An average car produces about 5 tons of carbon dioxide each year. Although this varies according to the type of car, its fuel efficiency, and the way it is driven. Making changes in how we get around can easily cut out our carbon budget. We can drive less. We can walk, take public transportation, carpool, and ride share to our destination when possible. This not only reduces CO2 emissions, it also lessens traffic congestion and idling of engines that accompanies it. If we must drive, we can avoid unnecessary braking and acceleration. Some studies found that aggressive driving can result in 40% more fuel consumption than consistent calm driving. When using cars or bikes, we should keep our tires properly inflated. It can increase our fuel efficiency by 3%, and ensuring that our car is properly maintained can increase it to 4%. When into some tasks, we can try to combine them to reduce our driving. If shopping for a new car, consider purchasing a vehicle with a low factor in the green gas emissions. If we have to fly for work or pleasure, air travel is probably responsible for the largest part of our carbon footprint. We can avoid flying, if possible, on shorter trips. Driving emits fewer carbon emissions. Also, try flying non stop, since landings and takeoffs use more fuel and produce more emissions. It's time we think for our future generations. We need to. With this, I conclude. Thanks to all of you all for having me in this podcast. Thanks once again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is H.